Hey, everybody. I wanted to just address something that we've been thinking a lot about, and our clients have been thinking a lot about, and our partners and other investors have been thinking a lot about. And that is the upcoming housing crisis, the current affordable housing crisis, all of those things. So, just before I start, I just want to say this isn't financial advice. This is just me literally talking off the cuff. I've prepared pretty much no notes for this. And so it's just something that I wanted to quickly record to just put out there my thoughts on everything that's going on, just very candidly, so you just get a full, truthful, honest perspective about what I feel as a representative of Property Buyer Connect feels about the current housing market. So, first of all, if you haven't read my article yet, I actually wrote an article earlier this year on propertybuyerconnect.com. It's called What Will Happen to the Housing Market in 2022. So, definitely visit that on our news section if you haven't read it yet. And that'll give you sort of just an insight into some things that I thought that were going to happen this year, most of which have materialized. And so that's a great place to start. But for today, I wanted to talk about, just casually the housing market. I mean, listen, it's been really hot the last several years, and it's mostly been hot because interest rates have been at a record low, right? So when interest rates are at record lows like we've had, money is cheap to borrow, and people are able to get more house than they can normally afford. So the typical behavior to do is to get the best house that you can for the most money. And when multiple people want the best house that they can possibly get, you have a situation where there's overbidding, etc. So the price of housing has gone up, especially in specific areas. In our current markets, Philadelphia, Lehigh Valley, Delaware, it's all gone up. Not as much as other parts of the country, but definitely it has gone up quite a bit. Also, rents have gone up due to higher input costs and property taxes, all that sort of thing. So rents are going up, housing prices are going up, and wages are not going up for most people as fast. So what we have is we have a disparity between how much people can pay and what the current market price is, right? So eventually there will be not enough demand, right? Where's all this demand coming from to keep up with these prices? Now, some of the housing prices can be floated by, you have a lot of first-time home buyers who maybe are getting gifts from, say, for example, parents for millennial kids, that sort of thing. But eventually that'll run out, or people will just still, even with gifts, reach a point in their mortgage price where they're just not willing to pay that price. Workers who are not getting pay that is matching their rent increases are going to not able to be to afford rent, which will bring rent prices down. Again, this is all what would happen in a normal market. We're in a very abnormal market now, so I can't say for sure that's going to happen, but eventually I would think that's going to happen. So what does that mean for you as the average, let's say you're an average homeowner who's, thinking of maybe downsizing or getting another property, or you're just a small landlord that's not, too keen on keeping your property for various reasons, right? So Well, that could mean a buying opportunity if you're in the market to buy a house. There's no guarantee that's going to go down because demand is still high. But now it's the question between, do you want to wait for rates to come down and prices to come down? Because prices are already kind of stagnating in some areas, at least in our area. You could see more price decreases. So it might make sense to wait a little while for prices to come down. Now, as far as rents have gone up a lot. We don't see really too much of a slowdown there, but you don't necessarily, if you're at the end of a cycle where you've rented a place for a long time, you've gained a certain amount of equity in it, and you are just like, you know what, I've reached the end of the road. Now might be a good time before rents start to come down. That being said, with everything going up, the cost of construction is going up, which means that people investors are spending more to renovate houses, which also drives up the rent prices. So, in my opinion, nothing can stay high forever. And I think that, especially when you're looking at all these different inputs, people just have so much money to spend, right? So I think that we are at a very interesting point in history where you still have lots of demand for housing, but housing is going up, right? So what's going to give? Is housing going to give? Is wages going to give? I'm really not sure. I'm not an economist. I'm just kind of throwing out all these different things that people are looking at macroeconomically to determine what is going on, right? So if you're watching this video hoping that I'm going to say there's going to be some huge housing crash or housing crisis, I can't really say if or whether or not there will be one. I will say that the lending this time around versus the financial crisis of 2008 time frame is more strict for sure. The no doc loan thing is not really an issue. So it's a different time, more legitimate people are getting more legitimate loans. It's just that they're really pushing to the limit how much they can get. And so any sort of change to that perfect rate and perfect payment, if there's a job change, a layoff, change of life situation, that could be a house of cards situation. So, yeah, I'm not feeling like a collapse of housing, although anything's possible. But I do think we're getting to a point where the elasticity of prices are stretched so much that they're bound to bounce back. So if you are hanging on by a thread on your rent, I think there's relief coming. If you're looking for affordable housing resources, we also have that on our website. We have an article dedicated to that, so definitely check that out. As with every video, I'm going to leave our information below. Comment what your thoughts are on this whole situation, and I would love to talk to you more about it. And of course, if you are someone with property who is thinking of getting out of the game for various reasons, if you're someone looking to buy property, if you're looking to rent, anyone in that spectrum, especially in the areas that we are specializing right now, we would love to hear from you. Please drop a comment below and I will reach out to you and would love to engage with you more. So thanks for watching this video. We appreciate every view and we hope you take care during this crazy sky-high gas summer we're about to have. So take care and thanks again for watching this video.